Hey everybody, Life's Journey at 50 here. So, you guys can tell I got a little bit of Mosko stuff here. So, is Mosko the best? I mean, by obviously the table, I think so. I have not had any issues with any of the Mosko gear. Now, I've had Mosko gear now for basically 2 years since I've been doing this. Again, I started riding March. I got my GS here, trusty old GS here in March of 21. So going on almost 3 years actually, but I've had Mosko gear for about 2 years now total. And obviously I've collected pieces throughout the time. And I would tell you that I've had no issues. I shouldn't say no issues. I've had one issue. I had the Nomax bag here. My first one, the seams came undone in the back, and I reached out to Mosko. They were nice enough, and in 2 days they had me a brand new one. Didn't even have to send in the replacement, nothing like that. They told me to keep it, use it as a bag or whatever, which I have over there. But they replaced this one. Outside of that, I've had no issues with any of this stuff. Their bags are just a solid representation of who they are. Even if you guys know, obviously if you guys have watched the channel, you guys saw that I went down in Nebraska this past summer, headed out to Wyoming BDR. This is the bag that was shredded. Obviously, it helped protect the bike too. When I went down and slid down the highway a couple of 100 feet, I mean, this took a beating. This is sliding on the highway a couple of 100 feet. I was at 75, 80 miles an hour in Nebraska on Route 80 around Lincoln, and this just, I mean, you can see, yeah, some of the parts started, rubbing off or tearing off or whatever, but the durability of the bag held up. Matter of fact, all the way to the point where this beaver tail here did not allow the inside. So my inside of the bag was still held together. No holes, didn't go through all the way. And I was still able to use the bag on my trip out west. So I have to say that very, very durable. Now, the one caveat here is, although I had a police report and everything like that, Mosko did charge me half the price of a pannier to replace it, which is still fine. I mean, it is what it is. It's a great quality product. That's probably maybe the one thing. So I ride a lot, as you guys have probably seen, like the Northeast BDR. 4 of my buddies that ride GSAs as well, they all have a Lone Rider. And they always dig at me, I always dig at them. I think that Mosko's better gear. Because anytime I've ever been with them, and the biggest thing with the Lone Rider, when they go down, or we're in rough terrain or whatever, they go down and stuff, the plate that Lone Rider has to attach the bags that go to the pannier rack has a tendency to bend, or not necessarily break, but bend and then come loose, and then they have to take it off and kind of mash it back into place with a rock or something like that to get it, get the plate flat again to go back into pannier. I've never had that issue with the plates break in or anything like that, knock on wood. But yeah, at the end of the day, these have held up pretty good. Now, the one caveat I would say is, like, where Mosko charged me half the price to replace this, Lone Rider was free. I would tell you that I had some buddies that tore a couple of bags on the Northeast BDR. They took pictures. They sent it in to Lone Rider, and actually before we were home from the Northeast BDR, they had a brand new bag and brand new replacement parts sitting for the guys that had reached out to them and emailed them and sent them pictures of what happened. So they didn't charge them anything. So maybe that's one flaw for Mosko on their bags and their setup, is that, that aspect of it. But, there's a reason why it's premium. There is a reason why that you spend the money you do on Mosko. And I'm not This is not a slam on Giant Loop or Nelson Rig or Wolfman or any of that other stuff, because those are quality products as well. I have a few of those pieces. But my day in, day out use, beating things up, packing stuff up, Mosko's my go-to. I even have the 40-liter backpack here. I have different sizes of, you know, different dry bags and things that I carry things in. Again, different tank bags. Again, if I'm going and I trailer my bike out, chances are if I'm trailering out, it means I'm going to be there for 3 or 4 days. I don't have to have the big bag on here. Now I love this one just because it's waterproof. You can turn this thing upside down and it's pretty easy, accessible, a lot of storage in here. And I usually ride with this one most of the time. The Nomex I'll do during the summertime because it has the hydration piece on the bottom of here. And during the summer and hot, especially if I'm going out west, riding the BDRs out there, I will do that. So again, great products overall. Again, Mini Nomex. This is a Pico. This is really tiny. I can put this on actually on my R9T if I want to, just to have a little bit of a tank bag. But this sometimes will go on to the GS and be able to, you know, get the big bag out of the way, be able to carry just a little bit of things while you're out on the trail for the day and riding around. So again, for me, I think Mosko is worth every penny of the product. And like I said, I've seen the boards, I've seen a lot of discussions. You know, I think the first discussions always start off with hard panniers, soft panniers. I have the cases, the original BMW OEM hard bags. They're great for one thing, for being able to lock and, well, two things, and being convenient. They're a little bit more secure in that aspect of it. But outside of that, really nothing major, because the hard panniers, if you drop your bike, they get dented, they get beat up, you know, things just start happening there. And not only that, the biggest one is you can break your leg and stuff like that. Now, I broke my leg. I was out west. I had these on. Don't get me wrong. The reason why I did that is, again, there was a rock that came pretty far across, caught my leg and pinned it back, and I don't think it would have mattered what I would have had on, outside of maybe if I didn't have any bags on, that maybe something wouldn't have happened. So, but I don't blame that on these, but I will say that these do take a beating and they're great. So that's the first debate. And then the debate is always what's soft panniers, and it really just depends on the cost, because like I said, I'll leave some links in the descriptions below on some of this stuff. Again, I get nothing from this. This is just my own personal experience, again, doing this for a couple of years. But it's well worth the investment if you can afford it. Again, I'm not telling you to go out and spend, because this stuff gets in a couple $1,000 range. I mean, the 35-liter panniers, I want to say now are $1,200, $1,300, somewhere in that neighborhood for a set of those. So again, it starts getting pricey. Nomex, these bags are $200, $300, a couple $100, you know, 150. Duffel bags, I think another $2-something, $300. These other dry bags, you know, they can start running. So it can start running a couple $1,000s for all this gear. But I would tell you that, again, just from my perspective, that to me it's been worth every penny I've spent. So is Mosko the best out there? I think so. Again, compared to, you know, I've seen the stuff that my friends go through on the Lone Rider, and there's nothing wrong with the Lone Rider bags are nice. My buddies that do ride with them are solid. I just don't like the metal plate every time that we experience tough terrain. And they go down and they bend the plates and stuff like that. You got to take the plates off again. I got to go through all that stuff again. But it just seems like that's a little bit of an annoyance. But I would tell you that there has been no issues with any of my any complaints really on my part. And if there was a complaint, the team has been fantastic. You make calls out there. They are very responsive. The team wants to know what's going on, wants to try to help you, try to solve issues. They even have this medical kit. I've done that. I'll leave a description in a video that I did on their medical kit. Again, it comes in a dry bag. Goes into one of your ox pox on the side here, and it's been fantastic. There's just a lot of storage. I carry an axe, hammer, everything on the outside of this in the beaver tail, so I really can't complain. I think Mosko is top notch, highly recommended. They're just solid products. Go check them out. If you've got the resources to do it, I would tell you Mosko is the way to go. So, all right, folks, thanks a lot. Hit that subscribe, like, notification button would be fantastic, and we'll see you soon. Take care. Bye-bye.